Yeah, we can start. Do you want me to do like a? Do you want to do an intro, Chris? We're here. It's the monthly mishap, our monthly entertainment show. What's up?
Yeah, man, it's been a very busy week with work and life. Actually, it's been a very busy couple of weeks with work and life and everything. And we were talking a little bit about that before recording, so I'm not gonna like regale my stories onto a permanent audio format, but I'm here, I'm now, and we're gonna talk about some stuff we've been watching and
Yeah,
whatnot. And
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for this episode.
yeah. Because you're probably curious what I want to, what I think about Food Wars, but we'll get to
Oh, I'm so curious.
that. um, but dude, like the way you came in, like you were like so like, oh my god, I'm so stressed. Your energy level is how I'm feeling inside. I'm chill all
Yeah.
the time on the outside. Like I'm like, oh yeah, everything's fine. But like you're like stressed. You're like, oh, this week sucked. This and that. I'm like, that's how I feel. So I'm right there with you on that level.
Right.
um, well, do you want to just dive into what we've been watching? Might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into some stuff. Um I think for me it would be best to go ahead and start with something that I talked about last time, which is Space Adventure Cobra.
Okay.
So last time I had only watched like the first 7 or 8 episodes. I don't remember exactly where I was at in that series, and I finished it. I finished all 35 episodes, 31 episodes. I think it's a 31 episode anime. I could be wrong on that, but I finished it. And man, this show is such a tale of like two sides of the same coin. And on one side you have like these really strong narratives, and so like the primary plot of like the first season, we'll call it the first run of 16 episodes, is about Cobra trying to find these three sisters, and like their back tattoos are supposed to merge together to make a treasure map to find the like this dead pirate king's treasure. And like that, it seems like that's what's going to be the plot of like this entire thing, and it's not. That gets resolved by like episode 9, so like just barely past where I was. That whole plot just gets resolved, and then the rest of that first season is just like Cobra going around and having these little one-off misadventures in space, which like is fine. I just wish that like the overarching narrative were a little bit stronger, cuz like when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah.
Um and just some of those extra episodes, they kind of just feel like filler, like they're kind of pointless. They almost feel like they don't matter, you know?
Yeah. Is the show based off like an anime, like not an anime, a manga, or is it like a whole unique? So is it like one of those things where they're trying to fill space to match the manga or something like that?
I think it was a manga. I've not dug that deep into it. Like this is old. Like this was
Yeah,
animated in 84, you
I
know?
know. I know it's old,
Um
so I didn't know if you knew that information or not. Because I know there's like plenty of shows like that where it's like,
right.
okay, the
Yeah.
manga is like the story is like kind of continuing, but it's not like paused, or it's the new episode's not out, or the new manga volume's not out, so they
Yeah.
like have a few filler episodes there. Is that how it felt, or is that just how the story's written?
No, I think it's just how the story's written, where like they just it is called Space Adventure. So like it's
Right.
supposed to be about Cobra's adventures, you know? But his adventures were not as intriguing as the larger overarching narrative. And the same thing with the second season. So at the start of the second season, like the big plot point is he has to break into this prison, um because like the like the warden and like the prison guards are like using the prison to as like a drug mule type place. Like they're manufacturing drugs within the prison and then sending them out, and like because it's a prison, nobody like goes in there or is suspecting them. So he gets essentially hired by the Galactic Police to go into this prison, but the prison is also like this sports complex where there's this game of death that's a mix between baseball and American football, except you can kill the players on the opponent's team,
Hmm.
which and so he's like he has to go in and like disguise himself and become one of these players and like mix in with the group and the team and try and get on like the A team so that he can try and figure out what's going on, and like all of that is really really good, but it's the first 4 episodes of the second 16 episodes,
Right.
and it's like, why didn't you just make that plot and expand it out a little bit more and make it
The whole
like
thing.
that's a season. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be your whole thing. Like that's the adventure right there. But instead, it's 4 episodes of this really intriguing plot, followed by 10 more episodes of individual one-off adventures. So
Is that the whole show? It's like, did you watch the entirety of
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole entire?
I watched everything that was available. Well, at least
Yeah.
that I own on DVD. There might be some more that I'm not aware of. But I that's the main 2 seasons of it at least.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, when it's good, it's really really good, and when it's not, it kind of isn't. So
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where it's a little uneven because they decide to like instead of focusing in on like a plot, they're just like,
a hundred
okay, this
percent.
plot's cool, they get it done, but then there's like 7 more plots, little stories off
Yep.
side shoot or whatever. Monster of
Yeah.
the week or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, and so like Cowboy Bebop follows a very similar pattern where a lot of the episodes end up being not about much of anything to do with the main plot, right?
Right.
But I think the difference there is that you have, 4 main characters. So every couple of episodes, you're getting like whether it's the main part of the plot or it's like the B plot of an episode, you're getting an episode about one of those characters' backstories.
Yeah.
Whereas with Cobra, it's just Cobra. Like he
Right.
has his sidekick lady who's like they call her an armoroid. You find out a little bit more about her backstory actually later on. So she used to be human and like got her consciousness implanted into this machine. And
Hmm.
so now she's like an android. They call them armoroids. So she's this android who used to be human. Um but like her story doesn't really get fleshed out at all, right? So I think there's a discrepancy there. That's kind of the point that I'm getting at, is that with a show like Bebop, it's fine being this more episodic thing because every once in a while you'll get that B plot where it's like Jet goes off on his own and explores something else while Spike and Faye are off doing the bounty hunter thing. But with Cobra, it's like, well, every story has to be about Cobra because he's the guy, he's the only one, and there's
Hmm.
not a crew around him to flesh out their stories also.
Yeah. I get it. So, all in all, like you still enjoyed your time with the show. It just felt like it was kind of like lacking after
Yes.
because the first plot was so damn good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So like I'm not gonna sell my DVDs of it or anything. I think it's good. I think it's worth watching. I think it's brilliantly animated for the time, for sure. And it looks
hmm.
great. Um when I go back to it, I'm gonna end up like picking and choosing episodes to watch. Like I'll rewatch that stretch of baseball episodes because that plot is really good. Or I'll watch like a few episodes here and there that I really like, but I don't think I would sit down and watch the whole thing front to back again. Not
That's
without
fair.
like not without a good reason. Like if one of my friends wanted to sit down and watch it with me, I probably would, but not by myself.
And there's a video game. Did you try the? I know you probably talked about this on your other podcasts, but you try the video game out.
I played the demo for the new video game. I've not bought the full release yet, because it just came out. It came out, like, sooner than I thought it was going to. I thought
Mm,
it wasn't due to come out until, like, October or something like that, but
right.
or late September, but apparently it's out. So, I think I'm gonna try and get to it this weekend and play it because the game was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch a lot of TV, but I did start the new South Park season. Have you watched it
Yeah,
yet? Did you watch it
I have
yet or
not.
no?
I have not.
They're taking down Donald Trump, which I mean,
I heard.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
they've shat on every president since they've been a show. So since Clinton, they've shat on every president.
yeah, and it's kind of nice to see our idiot in chief right now, basically shitting himself over a cartoon. You know what I mean? It's really funny.
Yeah,
I love that.
that's been really hilarious.
Yeah. The show itself is actually really fun though. Like they did a whole like so there's like they do this the first episode they do like this whole like take down a Trump for the whole entire thing, and then at the end it's like a
Mhm.
live action like Trump lookalike, and everybody thought it was AI. Like they thought it was an
Yeah,
AI Trump walking, but they actually filmed it like on set, like in the desert. Matt and Trey just went out there and filmed this like Trump lookalike and like deep faked his face and stuff, and
nice.
basically gave him a little tiny like puppet penis, which was really funny to see. So I've been enjoying it so far. We're gonna keep up with it this season. I just think it's like really like one of those things where it's like perfect right now dealing with this whole bullshit we have to deal with in real
Mhm.
life, to see somebody make like literally poking fun at it and like laughing in its face.
Yeah, and I mean, those guys have been doing it for so long at this point. They're so good at it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I the couple of seasons like in the middle of the pandemic,
Hmm.
mid 2020,
Yeah.
where they were just like shitting on everybody that was like anti-vax and everything that was going on with the pandemic and COVID and everything. Like that was all really good, really topical, really funny stuff. And I mean, that's the last time I was really watching it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not even that long ago. God, it feels like
5 years.
forever
It's
ago.
like 5 years ago, but that doesn't really feel like 5 years ago either. It also
I
feels like
know,
an eternity ago. It's like time doesn't matter. But
right?
the thing I enjoyed about this one a lot is they signed I think it's like a 5 or 10 year deal with Paramount Plus, right? And the first episode they put out on Paramount, or I think it's Paramount, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, it's Paramount. They shit on Paramount Plus like the entire episode right after they signed the agreement for it, which is just hilarious. Like, okay, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, that's just how they are. So I've been
Yeah.
enjoying that, and we're continuing to watch that. I don't have it on my list here, but I did start the new season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia also, which is kind of in that same boat where it's like they're making
Mhm.
fun of themselves and it's a bunch of shitty people. So yeah, that's the main TV I've been watching. There's nothing too crazy for me this month. I've been gaming my ass off, honestly, between working a bunch of overtime. So
Right. Yeah. I watched the new season of King of the Hill.
is that good? I heard it's really good.
It's so good. It might be. I don't want to say it's the best season. I think it's too early to say that it's the best season of King of the Hill, but man, it's really good. So the whole plot is that uh Hank and Peggy went off to Saudi Arabia. Hank got a job with some propane company in Saudi Arabia, and he was living there for like the last 15 years. And now here's Hank, this redneck from Texas, who's coming back to, everything in our modern society. And him just being like, well, I don't really understand all of this.
Yeah. I heard there's like a joke about poke, like what the hell is poke? What is this? What's
Uh-huh.
poke? Stuff like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like they're walking through um the airport in Arlington, and he's like, "What the heck is a boba?" Because he doesn't know what boba tea is
Yeah.
because he's not been here. He's been in Saudi Arabia, and so like the place they show a little bit of it. He was basically living in like uh what we would consider like a company town.
Hmm.
in Saudi Arabia. So like the place was built by the company that he's working for, and he's living on their property essentially. Um, he seemed to like it. I don't. The whole season's really really fun. It's good to see Bobby Hill actually grown up. Um, and yeah, so he's like a chef now and running a restaurant, but like he kind of owns the restaurant, but really he only owns like a part of the restaurant. And I think it's the Wasana Songs that own the restaurant. It's
Hmm.
one of the it's either the Wasana Songs or it's one of the other Laotian people that are in Arlington. I don't remember exactly because it released like right after we recorded our last episode, so I watched this at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, so it's been a few weeks, so like the smaller details aren't gonna like stick as much. But
Right.
um, what I was hearing from this one was that it's kind of one of those things where it's like it's a good comedy and it kind of just makes you feel good. A good kind of
Yeah.
feel good comedy, like, and of course has touch points for modern society and like how things
Mhm.
have changed in the last 15. It's just like one of those like you leave like, damn, I wish there was more episodes. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
whole consistent consensus I've.
Yeah, I would say at least once per episode I got a really good belly laugh.
Hmm.
It got a really good laugh from me. Like there's some pretty funny jokes, and a couple things where I kind of chuckled to myself and whatever, but at least once an episode it really made me laugh out loud. And yeah, all the guys are great. I mean, Dale is as crazy as he ever was.
Yeah.
Um Apparently, at some time during the time that Hank was away, he got elected as like mayor of Arlington, but was only mayor for like a day because he's fucking crazy, and everybody realized that once he was
Right.
actually in office. So like that was a fun little subplot, like that tied in with a whole plot dealing with him, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good. If you like the old King of the Hill, you'll like this.
It's good to see these reboots actually be good. Like it's so
Yes.
easy for them to be like just fall on their face. I feel like honestly, I feel like anything Mike Judge does when he brings something back, he's pretty thoughtful. I know he's brought
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead back, and now this, and like he actually
I
cares. I can tell.
Yeah. I didn't watch that Beavis and Butthead. I heard it was really good. I should probably go and watch it. Um my so I didn't really grow up with Beavis and Butthead. My big experience with that show was when I was 16, I had surgery on my sinuses and I was in the hospital for like a month, and during that time I was on morphine basically the entire time. So, and the hospital that I was in had cable, which I did not have because we were poor. And
Fair.
there was one day where MTV was doing an 8-hour Beavis and Butthead marathon, followed by the movie, which I had seen before. Like that was the first thing Beavis and Butthead I had ever seen, and I just
Yeah.
remember being high as hell on morphine and watching like 12 hours of Beavis and Butthead. It was
And just
great.
laughing your ass off
Oh
the
yeah,
whole time. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. So for King of the Hill, I actually when I was growing up, I hated King of the Hill. Just to be honest, like I
Yeah.
was like, it'd be like one of those things where I'm watching a block of like Simpsons or something, and then King of the Hill comes on, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing is so boring. But when I'm like 7, 8 years old, it's not made for me. It's not made for a
No,
7 or 8 year
not.
old. It's more made for like 20 something or like late teens, like 30 something even. And then so
It's made for us.
nowadays, yeah, for nowadays is like it's hilarious. Like it's like I get the jokes a lot more now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where like I remember watching King of the Hill on like Adult Swim when I was 14 and just being like, man, I can't wait for this is over so that I can watch the next episode of Family Guy and then watch like Full Metal Alchemist, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm.
And the older I get, the more I love King of the Hill because
Yeah.
it wasn't made for a 14-year-old me. It's made for middle-aged people,
Yeah.
and it hits that so much better. And I'm fucking 35 now.
Yeah. I
I'm
turned
right in
35
that age
soon.
bracket.
We're basically the same age, like
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm an October baby, so it's coming up. So be 35 soon. But yeah, it's one of those. It's Like when I was growing up, I hated it, but now I'm like growing in loving it. So I
Mhm.
actually do want to check out this season.
Yeah, it was really fun. Definitely worth watching.
So one thing I did want to bring up, I mentioned video games a little bit. I know this is mostly an entertainment show, but I want to talk about Death Stranding too, because I don't have
I want
anywhere
to hear
else
you
to.
talk about Death Stranding.
Oh my god. Okay, so Death Stranding, I love the first game. I had issues with the story. I was like, okay, it's pretty good. They kind of go off the deep end a little bit here and there. Kojima's
Mhm.
doing his thing. In this sequel, man, like I'm gonna spoil some parts of Death Stranding too, so we'll have timestamps. If you guys want to skip that, go ahead, do your thing. But I have to spoil a little bit of this story to get it off my chest a little bit. So when you start the game, there is your baby Lou. Ooh, okay, spoilers, big spoilers. Leave a second there. Lou dies, and you're like, oh my god, Lou dies, right? And then they find this
Is that your
character.
pod baby?
Yeah, your pod baby. He gets
Okay.
shot. She gets shot.
Okay.
And so does Leah Sadu, which is one of the actors in there, and she plays a character named Fragile. Yeah, I should remember that because she goes, "I'm fragile, not fragile." The same thing. Okay, anyway, really bad line. She dies too, which you don't find out till later in the game. It's like supposed to be this big reveal or whatever. But you go to like this death realm. You find a character that has blonde hair that's older, played by Elle Fanning, and they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this mysterious character this whole time. You find out that that's Lou the entire time throughout the game. Um, but the thing that really bummed me out about the game is that he goes a little too weird. Like I know that sounds dumb saying for a Kojima thing, but like there's this whole thing where there's like this whole group of like AI souls. Like there's like server farms in like this death plane, and there's like organic materials going up the server farms, and there's 4,000 souls making like this AI that wants to control humans and basically stop humans from being extinct, right? So there's like the super
Okay.
like high concept thing, right? And I'm sitting here trying to understand what's going on with the story. I'm like, okay, I think this makes sense, right? And then out of nowhere, there's this character. The entire game, his name's Charlie. He is literally a mannequin with like an animated face, like a cartoony animated face. He has the same voice as a previous character from the first game, and that guy was Die Hard Man, which his real name's John McClane, by the way, too. So
Oh,
so
nice. Okay.
so not on
So
the point at
Kojima just
all.
being like
Yeah,
hammering it
sledgehammer.
home.
Yeah. Anyway, so this whole time you're like, who is Charlie? Who's this Charlie guy? They're trying to make it a big thing. He comes out on this server farm in like Deathland, basically, which is a beach, and does a musical number. Like out of nowhere. It's like a K-pop number. And he's just singing.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm like all in on this game. I'm like the whole gameplay systems, the whole delivery systems are really fun. Like I enjoy the management element of it. I like doing the deliveries. The combat's actually pretty fun in this game. Like so far I'm having a great time. I'm like, this is like a 10 out of 10 game. And then this scene hits and I'm like, what are you doing? Like what?
Right.
He says like there's just like a musical number out of nowhere. And then like there's this huge exposition dump that half of it doesn't really make sense, to the point where I'm like having to rewatch the scene on YouTube like 2 to 3 times to figure out what he's trying to convey in the story. And I'm just really frustrated, to the point where I'm like, all right, I don't know if I want to finish this game like at this point. I had played this game for like 40 hours almost. And I'm like,
Damn.
it's like I wish that this guy, like, so Kojima, I know you have opinions on Metal Gear and Kojima in general. You don't really like him that much. I understand why people don't like him, but usually, like, his, like, weird wackiness is kind of like he comes in, he does this wacky thing for, like, 20 seconds or, like, a few minutes, then back to
Right.
the story. This was, like, in your face, like, crazy wackiness for no reason, and just kind of just completely destroyed the storyline for me. Kind of like made my experience not as fun. to
Right.
go through. And then I ended up
Well, he doesn't
rapping.
he
Go
doesn't
ahead.
have anybody holding him back anymore. Like, when
Yeah.
he was at Konami, there were suits who would
Yeah.
be like, "No, Kojima, stop it. You're going too crazy.
Yeah.
Dial it back." He's
Um,
running his own company now. He doesn't have anybody to tell him to fucking dial it back. He's surrounded by yes men.
yeah. If you want a soundtrack with like 75 artists on it, why not? I mean, the soundtrack's a banger. Like, it's amazing. He can just get whatever songs he wants that he likes.
Mhm.
Like, it adds to the game. It's really fun to experience. But like when he gets into the storyline, I feel like he has the silly idea and then he tries to make the story kind of fit around the idea.
Right.
More spoilers for the game, but who cares? It's the end of the game. There has been Higgs, which is played by Troy Baker, the entire game. In the previous game as well. He has a electric guitar like gun, like he shoots people
Okay.
with the electric guitar gun. You get that from him, right? And then when you're in
Okay.
like this afterlife beach area at the end of everything, basically the end of the world, the end of existence, extinction event's going to happen if you don't save the world right now. You have a shirtless guitar battle using these two guitars against each other, and it turns into a fighting game for the last boss.
Okay.
Yeah. And to me, I was like, that's a fun idea, but it just felt so kind of just cheesy instead of epic, at the end there. But
Right.
yeah,
I wonder if he wanted like that ashtray maze moment from Control where it's like this big musical number and
yeah.
like the big production and the music and everything, but like he's not Remedy. Like they make good video games and he doesn't. So
I mean, I like his game. So like when I came around to the end of this game, I give it like an 8 or a 9, 8.5 ish. Like because of the gameplay, systems were so
Mhm.
good. I just feel like this game could have been a 10 out of 10 if the story was like just a little bit better. Like the ending was
Right.
cool. I liked what they kind of their final resolution, but I just wanted to like game a little bit because I spent like 50 something hours. I did this instead of watching other TV shows, but it's like,
No, that's fair. I understand.
yeah. Um Good game though. All in all, I just thought the whole story part of it was just kind of whatever. It's like it's a big shrug to me. Like the gameplay systems kind of pushed it over the top. Gameplay story was kind of my opinion.
You see this?
Yeah.
This is Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic's Obscure. This game has consumed my life in the same way that your video game has. Except I have a video game podcast where I'm supposed to talk about my video games,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh fuck, all I've played is this one CRPG. I need to play like two other games really quick so that I have something to talk about.
Right. And the
So
reason I
I
bring up
understand.
like Death Stranding here is because like my other podcast is indie games. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the opposite of indie games. So I just want to
He's
bitch
an
about it a little bit.
independent creator.
I just wanted to bitch about it. Like it like to this point, I'll still play whatever game he puts out, but I kind of like don't care about his storylines anymore. I feel like he's just very
That's fair.
hacky and he just has an idea and he just throws it on the page and you're like it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just kind of weird just to be weird. And to this
Mhm.
point, it's like I know he did that a little bit in Metal Gear, but I feel like there usually is like a good resolution. Here, I
Right.
just felt kind of like, yeah, I guess that happened. You know, sure. Like whatever. I guess it gets us to a resolution, but it didn't really feel impactful. Like,
Right. Okay. This seems like as good a place as any to talk about that
yeah,
game.
yeah, just bitching.
Um, Speaking of games though, did you ever play Devil May Cry?
I played the first one back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you like it?
yeah, it's good times.
How would you feel about an anime of Devil May Cry?
I heard it was good. I haven't watched it. I heard it goes into the edge lordness.
Okay. So To be clear, I'm talking about the anime from
Oh,
2007.
2007. I thought you meant the new one. There's like a newer one that came out.
There is a new
Yeah.
one, and I
Okay.
did not watch that one.
Okay.
Because I don't watch new things very often. So I had never seen the original anime for Devil May Cry. This came out right after, like, it was in between Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4.
Right.
Um because I think DMC, that reboot that was on PS3, I think that came out in like 2008-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna fact check that. Somebody else can tell me in the comments below if
Which
I'm right or wrong about that.
which one was it? I'll look it up.
DMC,
Games, just the
the
original one.
reboot of, yeah. No, no,
Okay.
no. So on PS3 and Xbox 360, there was a reboot of Devil May
Yeah.
Cry that was just called DMC
Yeah.
that everybody hated.
I played that one. It was pretty good. 2013.
Okay. Okay, so I'm way off on the fucking dates. So Devil May Cry 2007 is like the most edgelord fucking 2000s anime that you could ever possibly watch. Like, people cursing and Dante being like, "Oh, I'm the edgy cool guy with the big sword and my trench coat, and I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm too cool to talk to you, and I'm gonna ride my motorcycle."
Yeah.
Just all of the mid 2000s fucking edgy bullshit, wailing guitars, and yeah.
Is there do they play Rob Zombie Dragula a show at all?
uh, Not yet. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened, but I don't think it's going to.
Okay. I mean, I just as soon as you say like early 2000s edgy like
Oh
motorcycle
yeah.
guy, that's the first song that pops into my
Oh, 100%. You got to have Dracula, you got to have a little bit of Godsmack, like, "I stand alone." You
Yep.
know, fucking yeah, no, it's fun. If you want like just a stupid, bloody, gory anime, like, it's fine. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. Like, it's the most okayest anime that you could possibly watch. If you like Devil May Cry, you'll get something out of this, obviously, because like I don't know if it's exactly a retelling of the story or if it's like it's additional story on top of, it's like what's going on behind the scenes, and like some of the episodes are a lot of fun. I haven't It's only 12 episodes and I haven't even finished watching it. I don't know if I'm going to. Like, it's fine. It was worth checking out for sure. But like, it's also like, you don't need to watch this. There's better stuff from this era
Yeah.
of anime. So,
So it's kind of one of those you tried it and you were like, it's okay. It is what it is. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be like late in the afternoon. I just got home from work, and I don't know, like, I'm tired. I don't really feel like focusing on anything. I don't want to read subtitles, so I'm just gonna put this on and watch a couple episodes of it and like scroll Reddit at the same time. Like, I don't need to pay
Yeah.
attention to everything that's going on screen. The action's really good. Like, it's well animated. It looks really nice. And if you want to see like demons getting their arms and shit cut off, it's fun for that. But yeah, so that's Devil May Cry. I don't have much to say about it, but it was worth watching, I guess.
Yeah. I got you. Well, I'll jump into a movie I watched. Opus. Have you heard of this movie? It has the girl from The Bear, Ayo Edebiri. The
I have not heard
She
of
plays
this.
Sydney in The Bear, that actress.
Okay,
Uh,
right on.
so and what's the main? Okay, it's John Malkovich is the main guy, bad guy, quote unquote. So basically, she goes to this. She's like a music critic, and she goes to this compound of this artist that has this album he's finally releasing. It's his like magnum opus,
Mhm.
and it's basically everybody's obsessed with this artist who's John Malkovich in this, and it's kind of culty and it's just very creepy and weird. The whole time she's there, she's kind of studying this cult, and uh, it doesn't really seem like a cult at first, right? You just think, oh, these are just some passionate music fans, but as she is on this compound listening to this music, he provides the album to listen to at night. Like, hey, go to bed listening to this new album that I created. That Here's a new track from it, and he's slowly revealing this album to these people. And throughout this entire experience and throughout this entire movie, you start to be like, this is kind of weird. Kind of has this really eerie, like every time she interacts with somebody else in this like compound with him, they're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's God among us. He's like he's Jesus reincarnate, and stuff like that. Like his music like moves people where they're like obsessing over this guy. So
Okay.
I don't want to spoil too much about the movie here because like I feel like this one's worth watching if you're interested in like the whole premise of it. But I will say when you're done with this whole storyline and you see where it kind of goes at the end, it's worth it. And it's always nice to see those two awesome actors. She I feel like I'm no fault watch anything she's in. Everything I've
Yeah.
seen her in, she played she was also in this movie Bottoms, which is like a comedy. She was really funny in that. Obviously, she's really great in The Bear. She's really great in this. So anything that she's in, I do want to see now. So, one of those like, if I see her name or I see her picture on the cover of a movie, I'm in.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so a
Sweet.
little flick. Like I thought it was like it's kind of like creepy and it's kind of weird, kind of off putting, and it's just kind of like the whole movie you're gonna leave just kind of feeling a little gross in a good way,
Mhm.
So definitely recommend it.
That that sounds good.
Yeah,
I rewatched a couple of movies that I hadn't seen for a really, really long time, like since my childhood. First one being Galaxy Quest,
hell yeah.
which I assume you've seen.
Oh yeah,
Um,
many times. I love that movie. That's one of those ones we had on DVD that we would just watch over and over back when we were kids. When it first came out,
right.
or like early.
Yeah, so I don't think I saw this movie back in the theater in 99. And then I know I've seen it at least once or twice since then, but I've recently bought a DVD copy of it just to add to the collection because I found it at like a thrift store or something for like $1. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's worth it." Um, I wasn't sure how well it was gonna hold up, and man, this movie's still great. It's still really
Dude,
funny.
Alan Rickman in this movie is hilarious. Like, I mean, he's great always in everything he does and everything he's ever done. But this movie is probably my favorite role with Alan Rickman in it. Like up there.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
up there for me. Like, I know he's Hans Gruber. I know he's in Dogma.
Mm,
I know he's in a million things. He's Snape in Harry Potter. I know he's has a million great roles, but to me, this is one of my favorite ones.
it's really good. It's really good. Having Sigourney Weaver as like the woman is just
Yeah,
pitch perfect. Like, her connection to science fiction, just kind of in general with Alien and like her that I mean, that's basically the start of her film career,
yeah,
at least of her being a star, is
right.
with Alien. So like having her in here like get lends it an extra sense of credibility. Alan Rickman, he's such a big name.
Yeah,
It always has been. And he has that dry wit to him. It's so funny. And Tim
good.
Allen, like
Tim Allen's great. Yeah, in this,
Tim
yeah,
Allen's really funny. Yeah. He's not a great person anymore, but we're not going to get into his personal politics.
yeah.
At this time, Tim Allen was at the top on the top of the world. He had the Tim Allen show or Tool
Home
Time or
Improvement.
whatever
Home
Home
Improvement. Yep.
Improvement. There it is.
Yep.
Which it was such a huge show
Yeah.
on network cable, And I
Buzz
remember
from Toy Story. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
and Santa Claus,
Yeah.
like he
Of
was
course.
the Santa Claus,
Hmm.
which those movies are pretty fun too. But
They are.
I wanted to mention there were two cameos that I did not. They're not even cameos. They're just very young appearances from now famous actors. Justin Long is in this
Justin Long.
movie,
Yep.
and Rainn Wilson is
Yep.
in this movie. And like they don't have big roles obviously because this is very very early in their careers, but it's always fun seeing like baby face versions of these actors who have gone on to become like very prolific stars just play these little bit roles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of those things you're watching it. You're like, oh my god, that's Justin Long. I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that was him. You know what I mean? Like it just plays such a like small character in this movie.
Mhm.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so he just plays like this over enthusiastic fan who like is
Yeah.
asking Tim Allen questions about like lore of the Galaxy Quest like story because so if anybody doesn't know, Galaxy Quest is essentially a parody of Star Wars and like how Shatner and the other guys kind of have dealt with the fans of not Star Wars, Star
Star
Trek. What am I
Trek.
talking about?
You're good.
Star Trek. One of the stars.
Mm.
But yeah, so like how they like how fan interactions and like going to conventions and like people. So Justin Long goes to Tim Allen and he's like asking these deep lore questions, and Tim Allen's just like, "Well, it's how they fucking wrote the show. I don't know what to tell you." Instead of
Yeah.
giving some in-universe lore answer
Honestly, it
that
feels like
the
something
nerds
that
want.
Shatner would say, like to a
Oh,
fan.
he Tim Allen brings out that mid 2000s Shatner energy of just being like, I'm so fucking done with this. I don't want to deal with these fucking nerds anymore.
Yeah. It's like also like the Harrison Ford, like, don't talk to me about Han Solo type of vibe too, a
Right.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he was really bitter about Star Wars for a long time. He's like, I don't want to talk about Star Wars. I don't want to talk about Indiana Jones. Like, ask me about the movie that
Yep.
I just starred in.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care who shot first. Come on, shut up. That's the
Yeah.
same energy there.
But yeah, it was really fun to sit down and rewatch this. Like the whole plot is just outrageous, and there's really good costuming and set design, and like it's a really nice production. This is a really fun movie.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those like higher budget like comedies that really holds up even now.
Hmm.
Like I haven't seen it in probably like over 5 years, but like every time I watch this movie, I have good couple good belly laughs. Like it's actually
Hmm.
legitimately funny even.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, good times. That's all I have to say about that one.
Okay. I want to talk about a movie. I watched this drama called Bob Trevino Likes It. So this one I was
Okay.
kind of like hesitant to watch a little bit. Saw a little bit of the trailer. My partner was like super into watching it. So the premise of the movie is there's this girl. She's kind of like had a really fucked up life. Like her father's never really been there for her. He's like really terrible to her this whole life. Her mom left when she was a kid because she was a drug addict. So she just like randomly Googles her father's name, which is, or looks at her father's name up on Facebook. Looks
Hmm.
up Bob Trevino, which is her father's name. But there's another guy who's played by what's his name? The guy who plays Luigi in the Mario Brothers movie.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo. Yep. So John Leguizamo, he is the other Bob Trevino. He randomly likes a post that she posts, after she talks to him.
Hmm.
So then they have like this connection. She has this connection with this older man that has the same name as her father. He ends up not having a kid or family, but he always wanted to have one. So he kind of takes her under his wing, and it's like this whole storyline of this girl kind of like healing by making a friend through this older guy who becomes like her father figure. Which
Does he lie to her and tell her that he was her father, or is he like upfront about it
no,
that he's
so
not?
the what ends up happening is she lies to him and just like, oh yeah, I'm just talking to you. Are we related? And then she tells all her one or two friends that she has that, oh yeah, that's my dad. Oh, I'm just talking to my dad.
Okay.
I'm just talking to my dad. And then he finds out like, oh, why are you lying about that? I'm just trying to help you out because I don't really know you. We just met, but I do care. Like I care as a
Right.
person, And then they just get that connection. At he's like super into astrology and takes her out to see the stars, and it's actually kind of like a really sweet and like really like happy movie. Like it made me feel really good and happy and warm, give me the warm and fuzzy, surprisingly,
Well,
even though the premise is kind of like weird. But I ended up finding out at the end of the movie it has been a real story all along. So it's based off of someone's real experience. Had like a really shitty father that didn't care about them, and then they like had this connection with, and it blossomed. And this movie was really good. Like I was really impressed by the acting in it, and the story, although a little like kind of out there and a little strange, like meeting some character or person online, ended up being
mhm.
really sweet and kind, and like it was like one of the best movies I've seen. I just really thought it
Cool.
was one of those movies that will bring some tears. Like I was legitimately had some tears going in my eyes here. Like I was feeling it. definitely one to keep on your radar if you want to get some like some waterworks. Get some warm and fuzzies, you know, something
Yeah.
to kind of bring you down to earth. Check that out.
All right. Um, on a completely separate note, I rewatched The Rock, which I hadn't seen in a really long time.
That's like such the opposite of that movie, but yeah, sure.
Oh, absolutely. So The Rock, if you're somehow not aware of like one of the biggest movies that released in like 1998,
Hmm.
it Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, Ed Harris, fucking 90s action movie ass 90s action movie. Sean Connery plays like this spy who's been locked in prison by the CIA for the last 40 years. He plays imprisoned James Bond, is what he's
Hmm.
doing.
Yeah.
He's basically reprising his role as James Bond and just being like, well, I'm no longer in Her Majesty's Secret Service. I've been in prison. That I'm pretty sure that's a line from the movie.
This is one I haven't
um,
seen since like the early 2000s, so you'll have to refresh my memory on some of it. But I do know what the movie.
okay, so essentially Ed Harris is a he's like a Navy SEAL or a Marine, something like that. I think it was a Navy SEAL, and he's like this decorated war veteran. And he is mad about the government not paying out benefits to some of his fallen comrades who have died in battle in like these uh like covert operations where like they were given orders to go into a situation, but it was off the books. It was not official US, like it wasn't it's places that that the United States should not have been getting involved with.
Hmm.
So when it comes to their death, the story has to be spun as to why they're actually dead. So like the families aren't getting paid out for their deaths. So he's mad about that because he's seen a bunch of his people that are under his that were under his command, uh, their family's not getting paid out by the government. The
Yeah.
government doesn't treat its veterans properly. He has a problem with that. He's a combat veteran himself. So he steals these gas missiles and takes them to Alcatraz and is trying to get it's like $50 million. Like it's not that much money into by today's standards, but like he's trying to get $50 million to give like $1 million to each of these 25 families that
Hmm.
he wants to, and then keep the other 25 for himself. So because he's basically becoming a terrorist and is gonna have to leave the country. Like he needs money for himself also to be able to not go to prison.
Right.
And he has a whole group of like army guys that are going along with him, and this gas is like super toxic and like they're not really supposed to have it or something like that. Um, or like the US isn't supposed to have it, I think. Something like that. But so Nick Cage and Sean Connery and this group of Navy SEALs have to like break into Alcatraz. All of them die except for the two main characters, and it's just about them like sneaking around Alcatraz and taking out a couple of guys here and there, and like Ed Harris trying to get the money, but then like he doesn't actually want to fire the missiles at US civilians. Like that's not what he's about. Like he still loves his country.
Yeah.
He's just doing this as a threat to get the money for these fallen veterans. So like there's this real turning point in his character, and like some of the other guys they recruited are just like, yeah, no, fuck it. Who gives a shit? Like fucking send the missiles at him. And so like he starts infighting with his own guys, and it's this whole drama. It's just a fun fucking movie, man. It's nonstop action from start to finish, nonstop drama from start to finish. It's really good.
Yeah. It's a stat cast too. That's one of those ones
Yeah.
like when I was in high school, me and my buddies will watch this. It's like I've seen this movie. I don't know
Hmm.
if I've ever watched this movie front to back. I just feel like I've seen like 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there type of movie because it's like it was like one of the in our rotation with like Scarface and like all those other action movies. Like we would just have it on in the background while we're like smoking weed or doing something when we're teenagers.
Right.
So or playing Halo while that's playing or whatever.
Yeah. So this was in like a constant rotation when I was like 9, 10, 11 on VHS. We had a few of these like big action movies from the 90s, and
Right.
I've been rebuying those on DVD. So like it was this, it was like Broken Arrow, it was Speed,
Oh
it
yes.
was um
Miss
Face
Congeniality.
Off.
Just kidding.
No.
uh, Face Off's good too.
um
Too. I love.
yeah, Face Off is a lot of fun. I've not watched that one in a long time either. It's sitting in a pile. But like Die Hard also, I fucking love
Of
Die Hard.
course.
Yeah, classics. Yeah, this is just classic. It holds up. It's a really, really good movie.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where like it's in the list, like classic action.
Oh yeah. Deserves to be 100%.
I have a movie that doesn't deserve to be in any list of any good movies ever made. It's the new
Yeah.
War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube.
I've heard this was bad. I'm so excited. This was the other thing I was excited about. I'm so excited to hear how shit this movie is.
Oh, it's garbage. Like you wipe your ass with it. Like that bad. Like okay, so this movie was filmed during like pandemic times. It's like
Mhm,
filmed
mhm.
like the whole idea is everything. So there's a movie with I think it's John Cho. It's called Searching. Have you seen that? Where it's like
I have
he's
not.
so basically it's the same idea as that movie. So the idea of that movie is his daughter goes missing, but he can't leave his office, so he's like searching online and doing a bunch of like checking feeds and things like that, like on a
Okay.
like a MacBook or to save his daughter. This is Ice Cube basically staring into a webcam for an hour and 20-ish minutes and yelling about how the War of the World is happening. And it's about him saving the world through the power of, let's see, right clicking on drones and saying hack drone. Like there's a literal drop down menu that says hack drones. So he can like see that's just because that's
Nice.
just how it
Yeah.
works. Yeah. Yeah.
That I have that drop down menu also. It's right here on my PC. I promise you it's there.
Yeah. And then so he like works for the CIA or some type of like firm that's like watching over or whatever. So like he's kind of creepy though. Like he like watches his daughter like go to like the coffee shop through like the
Mhm.
like he's following her with a drone and like street cams and stuff. Goes to a coffee shop. She's pregnant, right? She gets a muffin and he literally calls her and goes, "You're eating a muffin right now? That has no protein." She's like, "Dad, are you watching me?" Like he's literally surveilling his family like 24/7, which is already creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what ends up happening is her husband or her boyfriend, that's basically fiance, whatever, baby daddy, it works for Amazon Prime because this is an Amazon Prime show, or movie, and this entire thing happens where he's just kind of like trying to figure out where like this hacker group is, who this hacker group is, and the aliens invade and they want data, so they start going to server farms all across America to absorb the data. So a lot of really bad CGI, a lot of like, okay, we're shaky cam to hide CGI, or here's some like footage that's copyright footage or whatever that you can buy, like canned footage. We'll blur out
Right.
the faces and have someone talk over the faces, and a lot of things like that is just really cheesy and corny. And for some reason, Ice Cube's on FaceTime with like 7 people at all times. That makes a lot of sense. And then a lot of the lines are just really cheesy and corny, and most of the time the action in this movie comes from him operating a drone on his computer and going, "Hell yeah," to himself in an office. And it's a lot of that. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled for this movie, I'm gonna spoil the ending. It's not the craziest ending of all time. Uh,
It's War of the Worlds. Like this
2025.
story, yeah,
It's so bad,
this
and
okay. Not only that, but like the original story of War of the Worlds came out in
yeah.
like the fucking 40s. Like if you don't know this story by now, like I'm sorry, but it's been 80 fucking years.
Also, it's kind of an insult to the original story in a lot of ways because, like, okay,
I
so
bet.
the acting is as bad as you expect it to be. It's the worst you
Uh-huh.
probably ever seen like on screen. It really feels like a YouTube
guarantee
special.
you it's not the worst I've ever seen on screen.
That's true.
It
It's up there though. It's pretty rough. It's rough. It's probably it's. I'll say this is the worst Ice Cube performance, and I've seen Are We There Yet
probably.
too, and it's better than that.
All right.
I mean, worse than that. I mean, um, there's also a scene where he asks his daughter on chat, "Are you there yet?" Of course, are we there? Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. To reference
yeah.
his old movie. But
Yes.
anyway, so the aliens start invading everything. They find out, oh my god, it's the server farms. The whole thing that he needs is a flash drive with his daughter, which somehow she is a DNA scientist who knows how to hack into computer DNA sequences somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, so she programs some because they're organic. They're part organic, part, alien robot, right? So
Okay.
somehow she figures out how to program a virus that they can implant into the machines. But there's no way for him to get that file unless he has a flash drive with it on it because he's in a secure building. So her fiance has to use Amazon Prime Air to deliver this USB drive into his office building. And that's the whole crux. The hero of the story, he's a professional. He says it. That's one of his lines. He's like, "I'm a professional." As he's flying this drone, this Amazon Prime Air drone, which has the Amazon Prime, logo on it. They say it many times. It's definitely not an
Hmm.
ad. And
No,
fly it through
definitely
this
not in that.
fly it through this office space as Ice Cube is running downstairs to get the basically the drone and defeat the alien, sticking a USB drive into it. So that's basically the whole premise of the movie. Obviously he wins in the end. And he trips over a wire and says, "Boom, bitch, get out the way," even though that's not one of his lines. And he says, "Fucking," he's like, "Hell yeah, bitch." He says that a bunch of times. The hacker group owner is his son the entire time, which very obvious. I'll say this movie is kind of one of those bad movies that's not even really fun to watch. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like if you're interested in watching it, sure. My partner and I were cracking up at how bad it was. It's like stupid, just really stupid. His acting is so flat. It's better than my podcast voice right now. It's like, I mean, worse than my podcast voice right now. He's just like so flat and so just like, why am I here? The whole energy of Ice Cube's performance is just like, I'm definitely just getting a paycheck for this. That's all I care about,
Yeah.
Uh, it was really bad. It's rough. It earns all the negative opinions, saying pretty much one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say you don't have to watch it. I know you like to watch bad stuff and enjoy bad video games. I feel like this is one you can completely skip and you're not missing
Oh,
out
I
on
did not
much.
plan on watching this.
Yeah,
So I don't think War of the Worlds is a great story in the first place. Like
right.
it's okay as like that there was the movie from like the 1960s, I think it was. Um and like it's the most okay sci-fi movie ever.
And they have the Tom Cruise one, right? That's
Ah, fuck, I forgot about that one.
and that one's bad. That one's bad too. I'd say this is still worse than that one though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've only seen that really old one. And I was like, why do people like this again? Like I don't know.
I could see why people like this, like ironically though, because it's
Right.
it has the cheesy lines, has the really bad ADR, like the boom get out the way line, which is just off screen. He's like not facing the screen, and you can tell it's ADR. Recorded that after the fact, and
Mhm.
like there's a lot of things like that where like this is just bad because you can tell it took a long time to put together because they didn't have much to work with, and what they had to work with wasn't very good, and they just kind of put the movie out, and it became popular because it kind of sucked. you know
Right. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Let's talk about something actually good. Um
Okay.
let's talk about the Guyver.
Diver.
Which is also kind of not good if I'm going to be completely honest about it. I love this movie though. Like unironically, I love the Guyver. So Guyver is um it's based on a manga from the 80s.
Okay, I
But
was looking this up because I've seen this character. I don't know much about it besides just seeing the
but
character.
this is a live action movie from 1991, and the Guyver is he's an alien. Well, he's a human who has like this alien suit and he fights against other aliens. It's very Super Sentai. So, if you've ever seen anything like Ultraman, if you've ever seen anything like Kamen Rider, with Ultraman's like the one guy Kamen Rider group of guys. Um, I don't know much about either of those. I know about them in broad general strokes. Okay, so like other people know a lot more about that shit than me. I know the big picture, right? But it's also kind of like Power Rangers were also part of like Super Sentai, like Sentai as a genre as a whole. So Guyver is part of this kind of lineage of Japanese Sentai media. Okay, except this is why in America in 1991 somebody decided to adapt this manga from the 80s that is basically Power Rangers, except there's only one good guy, and it's also kind of bloody and is rated R. I don't know. I don't understand how this fucking movie got made, but I love it. It's so corny and cheesy, and like all of the all the aliens are like these big rubber monster suits, and they look good, but they also look like guys in rubber monster suits.
That's the best. I
You
love
know,
that.
like nothing looks real,
Right.
but it's also very, very fun.
Like you suspend your disbelief because it's kind of corny, but you're like, no, that's real. Like
Yeah.
that looks cheap. Not to change the subject. Have you seen Psycho Gorman?
I have.
Okay. So that's kind of similar vibe. That's
It,
what I'm getting at.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
similar vibe, except I thought Psycho Gorman was kind of not good.
Okay.
Um,
That's fair.
I so Psycho Gorman. Look, I don't need to talk about the Guyver all that much. It's I've said enough. It's Sentai bullshit. It's if you like the Power Rangers, if anything about that is fun to you, but you want a bloody version of that, watch the Guyver. It's great. Like if you like dumb action movies from the 90s, it's great. Let's talk about Psycho Gorman for a second.
Okay.
That movie is it's like E.T. if E.T. was very bloody.
Yeah.
Except E.T. is not a very entertaining movie in the fucking first place, and neither is Psycho Gorman because it wants to be like this 80s throwback camp, and it's just corny and not fun.
I thought it was
I,
corny but fun. I'm on the other side of that one. I can see why people don't look.
so I still own it on DVD because I want to rewatch it again after like I've forgotten most of the movie, and I want to watch it again
Yeah.
and get a feel for it, like maybe with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh perspective. But when I first watched it when it first came out, I was not a fan. And I don't think I'm ever going to be, but I'm going to
That's
try
okay.
again
No,
because
that's completely fair. I feel like that's just like one of those that for whatever reason I like it quite a bit. I don't think it's like
right.
my favorite ever or anything, but I've watched it like probably 4 or 5 times. I just really thought I
Yeah,
think it's fun. It's a really good time to me, but I can see why people don't like it. You're
right.
not the first person I've talked to that they're not a huge fan of.
Right. And I could see people not being a fan of the Guyver. Like it is
Yeah,
corny, it is dumb. It's not very well acted, and all those suits are obviously rubber,
but
but
that's kind of the
it's a
point,
fun
right?
time. Yeah.
Like it's kind of like the time. It's like a time and place thing, right? You like you put
Yeah.
your mind in that space. Like this is gonna be a little cheesy, not gonna look real at all, and it's gonna be kind of corny. But I'm just here for the fun. Like that's what you're there
Yeah.
for, right? Yeah.
And Mark Hamill's in that movie. He's
That's cool.
great.
I
He has
love
a
that.
mustache.
Mark Hamill just does side quests a lot. He's just like, oh, I'll just be in this thing. Why not?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, after Star Wars, he was just like, "I made my money. Like,
yeah,
I'm good. I'll just be in this thing, I guess." He also, from my understanding from like interviews and stuff, he had a really hard time like finding work after Star Wars because like everybody just wanted to typecast him
Luke
as
Skywalker.
Luke, as the hero,
Yeah,
or like they were like, "Well, you're good, but everybody's just gonna associate you with being Luke Skywalker." So he did kind of have a hard time getting work, from my understanding.
yeah.
Uh,
But at least he has a really good voice acting. He became the Joker, and
oh yeah, yeah. Joker, top notch, top
yeah.
notch.
All right, I got one more movie. I had another one. I didn't really have much to say about it, so I was like, screw it. We'll just talk about this one.
Perfect.
Eddington. It's the new Ari Aster movie. Have you ever watched any of
Okay,
these?
I have not. I don't think
Okay, I
so.
think he
He was the
did
guy who did like the lighthouse and the witch, right?
The
Am
Witch,
I right?
Lighthouse. I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. He also did Beau is Afraid, which is like kind of similar to this one, which has Walking Phoenix in a very long movie about one subject. So yeah.
No, I have Beau is Afraid on a list of movies that I want to watch, and
Yeah.
I've not gotten around to it.
So yeah, Beau is Afraid is kind of like, so that movie and this movie kind of like are similar, where they have like a similar, like a central idea, and then they kind of just go crazy with it. So that movie is basically about modern society and just being like very paranoid about everything in modern society and how anxiety like runs everyone's life. That's pretty much the thesis of Beau is Afraid. And of course it's very like anxiety inducing scenes, lots of gore and lots of like crazy just out of the box things happen in that. This
Mhm.
movie, Eddington, has still Walking Phoenix as the main character. He is a sheriff in like a New Mexico town during 2020, right when the pandemic happened. So this movie is all about the pandemic.
Pause for just a second. I am
Sure.
wrong about who he is. He was the guy who directed Hereditary and Midsummer.
There we go. I was like, the that's Villeneuve who did the other one, right? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Let me double check. I
Yeah. So we're not getting. They have
Yep.
similar vibes though, for sure. Like kind of like very artistic Artur.
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers. Okay, that's your. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Infinite
Yeah, he's the one who did the Lighthouse. I
Lighthouse. Yeah.
got them confused. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
got
fine.
them. I got them switched. They both are kind of that Artur making whatever they kind of want to make kind of
Yeah.
filmmakers. So,
Yeah. Like Midsummer, it's that's about like religion, right? I feel like he
mhm,
always has like something he wants to talk about in his. This one's about male white male privilege during 2020, like how everybody like a lot of right leaning people became like victims, or at least they thought they were the
mhm,
victims of the pandemic because they had to wear a mask or because of X or because of Y.
yep,
And this whole thing is you're following kind of the villain of the story, which is Joaquin Phoenix as the sheriff, who is basically he has asthma, so he doesn't want to wear a mask for one. Pedro Pascal plays the mayor of the town. He's trying to run against him as the mayor. Um, and pandemic's hitting this small town. There's Black Lives Matters going on. All that stuff like recontextualized and written into the story, and it's all through this viewpoint of this guy who's just pissed off at the world, and you don't root for him at all, even for a second in this movie. He's just the bad guy the entire time, and it's just a really interesting look at that perspective of the pandemic and how this crazy world ending thing, changed people's it broke a lot of people's minds, and that's what this whole movie's about. And you feel that claustrophobic feeling, you feel that anxiety that he has. Emma Stone's in it as his wife as well, and she just plays this like really reserved person that maybe he has abused her in the past. We don't really know. It's not really completely said, but
mhm.
it's just kind of one of those
Or kind
ones
of
where
that trad wife thing that
yeah,
right wing talk
yeah,
show hosts are always talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's just like it's an exhausting movie, but it's one of those ones where you watch it and you're like, damn, this movie's really long. It's kind of dragging out a little bit, but it's kind of on
Mhm.
purpose because they want you to feel like this like uneasy feeling of this bad character.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was worth watching. I thought it was interesting. And it kind of has a pretty funny ending. Like I thought there was a lot of actual funny things that happen in this movie, even though the subject matter is pretty dark. Um, and it's just ironic. A lot of ironic, funny things end up happening near the end of the. And it's just out there. It's just batshit. Like it goes off the rails after a while, and you're like, "Oh, we're going this way. Okay, let's just see where this goes." And I really enjoyed my time with it. I will say it's going to be one that when I first finished watching it, I was kind of like, was that good? Like, did I like that? And then the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more I'm thinking about all the plot points and what they're trying to go for, the more I end up enjoying it. It's kind of one of those ones where, like, in 6 months, I'll be like, damn, that movie was really good. Just because there's a lot to chew on and think about. Uh, it
Mhm.
wants you to be a little uncomfortable, just like watching Midsummer, where where the movie wants you to be uncomfortable in a lot of moments on purpose, and they do that in
Right.
this a lot, and it's very effective, and I think it's a really good modern like satirical take on like that time period.
Excellent. That sounds great. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point for sure.
It's a longer movie. It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes though, so it's like
That's
one of those
fine.
ones. Yeah, it's not Oppenheimer where it's 3 hours, but it's up there.
Right. I also decided to drop one of the movies off my list just because like we're running on time.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna mention it momentarily, briefly. I rewatched Pan's Labyrinth. It's a Del Toro masterpiece.
it's
Nothing else needs to
immaculate.
be said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it,
fantastic.
it's one of the best movies ever made. If you've not seen Pan's Labyrinth, what are you doing? Fucking go watch it. The movie I do want to talk about is called PTU, Police Tactical Unit. This is a Korean drama, mostly slash action movie because there are like some action bits in this. This was directed by Johnny To. Stars, I'm not going to pronounce names correctly, but Simon Yam and Sweat Lam. I believe that's how those names are pronounced. I could be completely fucking wrong about that because I do not speak Korean. Okay? But I love Korean movies, and um this is one that I'd been wanting to see for a really long time. Essentially what this story is it's about this cop who is he's kind of everybody calls him like fat ass essentially. And he's not like really that fat. He's just like a little heavyweight.
Right,
Like he probably weighs like 220 pounds or something. But
like my
like
size, like where I got a little poochie going here, but I'm not like fat.
yeah,
Yeah,
but he's not a fit police officer like everybody else on the police force in this city. I don't remember what city it is in Korea, but he gets into like this altercation with these gang members and he loses his gun. And there's this special unit called the Police Tactical Unit within the city, and they're kind of like the SWAT team, but they're I don't know. They don't have SWAT. It's this special unit, and he kind of ends up working with them. And like they don't want to help him, but like the captain of that team is like, no, he's a cop. Like we need to try and help him to try and find his gun. And if worst case scenario, if we can't find it by tomorrow morning, uh, you know, he's gonna have to turn himself in and say that he lost his gun. So this whole movie goes through and it's him like dealing with like these multiple street gangs and also like higher ups within the police force, and like there's no good guys in this movie. The
right.
cops are all bad people also. Like they're basically another gang. Like there's multiple scenes of like the cops torturing and beating the shit out of other, you know, like these other gang members. There's this one really long drawn out scene where the leader of the police tactical unit is just like slapping this one guy in the face while telling this other guy to call his boss. And so like dude's calling his boss, he doesn't pick up, and he just keeps hitting him over and over and over again. And he just
Yeah.
looks at him and he's like, well, so he calls him again. Still no answer. Calls him again. Still no answer. Calls him again. Still no answer. And it's like it's uncomfortable. Um this is just a really good movie, man. This is a
It's like a
really, really good drama.
Korean drama.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those where like the cops feel like they're the good guys, even though they're really just like
No,
they don't even
no, the
care. They
cops,
just don't
no,
care.
the cops don't feel like the good guys. They 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 seem like
Oh,
they know what they're doing.
yeah, like they think they're the good guys, even though they're doing the wrong thing, type of thing. Or no, not even
No,
that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I
Okay,
don't think I don't think anybody's a good guy in this movie. I don't think anybody thinks they're a good guy in this movie.
they just care
It ends
about
up,
the number one. Like they're just there for their crew. That's it, type of thing.
yep.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's everyone taking care of their own individual team. Like it's the cops looking out for the cops. They don't care about anybody else. Civilians, you don't fucking matter. You're not a cop.
yeah, gotcha.
The individual gangs, they don't care about anybody else, just themselves. And it's a hard movie to describe because there's so many characters and so many players. I mean, like there's probably 50 important characters in this movie. Like
Oh,
it's a lot. But it's like there's all these members of this gang, and there's all these members of that gang, and you're meeting these people, and like the plot just like it's like this big mystery of like trying to figure out who has this one cop's gun, and it's trying to solve that one mystery because like he can't be without his gun, you know, like
right.
he's going to get in massive trouble for losing his firearm. um yeah, it's really, really good. It's kind of a slow burn, as most dramas are, but I love a good slow burn cop drama. One of my favorite movies, which we didn't talk about on the first episode where we talked about some of our favorites, but one of my favorites is The French Connection.
Oh yeah.
Which, oh, it's like 2.5 hours of like the slowest drip feed drama that you could fucking possibly imagine. And it's fantastic. I love it so much.
There's something about a movie like that where it's like, yeah, of course, if you just tell somebody the plot, you're like, yeah, there's like 40 minutes of this and this. You're like, well, that sounds kind of
Mhm.
boring. But no, the acting, like the atmosphere, it just really draws you in, and it's just like
Yeah.
doesn't matter how long it is. Like even if it might seem a little drawn out, it's just like worth acting. So get into the storyline. So sounds
Yeah.
sounds good.
So I don't think this is quite as good as a movie like The French Connection. Like that's obviously a legendary movie. It won Academy Awards, like
Yeah.
rightfully so. Like that was the movie that should have won Academy Awards in 1971. Like
Hmm.
fantastic. Um, so not quite that good, but still a really, really good police drama. Fantastic. Uh, it's gonna be one where like you're probably not gonna find it on American streaming services.
Yeah, I never heard of this like ever, but I was like, it must be good. You're bringing it up.
Yeah. But I love movies from Korea. They're fucking wonderful. They're fantastic. They know what they're doing. So this was a really, really good movie.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a thing we do every month where we recommend each other movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
Um, should I go first this time since you went first last time? Uh, recommendations here?
I
Reaction to the
Yeah, sure.
recommendations?
Let's go ahead and have you go first. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Oh yeah.
I have been I have been so curious and so excited to find out what your thoughts are
On
on
Food
Food Wars.
Wars. Food Wars, which is an
Yeah.
anime. What year did this movie? I didn't even look up when this came out. It's not that old,
Tw
right?
2017, I believe, is when the
2017.
first
Yeah.
season. It was either 2016 or 2017 when the first season came out. Yeah, it's not very old.
Okay, so the main premise of this whole anime is main character Soma. He's part of a restaurant with his father. His father ends up going away because he's a famous chef, and then Soma ends up going to this academy for culinary arts.
Hmm.
And the thing they have this culinary academy is a thing called Food Wars, where you can challenge somebody, and that's where the anime comes from. What did I think about this show? Okay, so I'll start with an anecdote. So I was trying to start the show early in the month, and
Okay.
I was like, okay, well, I have some downtime at work. I'm waiting. I was waiting for something at work, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start this anime. Watch it on Hulu on my phone through my work truck speakers.
Okay.
Probably not the best idea for this one, but it's fine. Um, I'm watching it, and the one of the first scenes, he's doing a little cooking battle with his dad, and the girl takes a bite, and she starts making very loud orgasmic noises.
Uh huh.
And I'm reaching for the dial on my stereo in my truck, and then of course over my shoulder I hear a tap at the window, and my customer was standing there watching me watch the first scene of this anime in my truck. Really
Nice.
pretty embarrassing. But um so I think that's the thing that you were probably wondering if I was like gonna be into, right? It's like this, like when they eat something, it turns into like this, like the taste, the sensation, it's
Uh huh.
overwhelming. It makes my coochie feel warm and tingly, and all that stuff.
It makes their clothes explode off.
Yeah, legitimately. I will say, at first I was kind of like hating on that part. I was like, why are we doing
Uh
this?
huh.
This is so stupid. But the
Yep.
more I started watching it, the more I actually started to like the characters, especially the main character Soma. He is very like anime Goku,
Uh
like
huh.
I'm the good guy who always wins somehow, at least
Yes.
usually. And if he doesn't win, he wins after the fact and makes up for his losses big ways.
Hmm.
Um, very much the character you want to follow through a story like this. And so you start to you know learn the characters, and you start to get into the storyline, and you start to be like emotionally invested in these characters, want them to win and want them to succeed.
Yes.
And the little stupid anime like 14-year-old girls with their clothes exploding part is kind of like in the background after a
Uh huh.
while. And actually what I noticed throughout the show is they do less of that as it goes on. It happens, of course, still, where they eat and their clothes explode. It doesn't matter gender, like it could be a guy or a girl, that their clothes will
Well.
explode off. They'll be naked in a forest,
Hmm.
or whatever in their head when they eat this amazing food. That still happens. But to me, that ends up being more of the comedy bits of the show in the
Uh huh.
middle of the drama. And I feel like that's what they're really going for. Am I wrong with that?
Yep. No,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. It's supposed to be just like a funny, quirky thing, like a way for the this story to stand out
Yeah.
in a market that was already saturated with a lot of shonen storytelling.
Yeah.
Where if this was just another story about the good guy wins at the battle, but it's not actually a fight, it's some other form of battle, and it didn't have that more, I don't know, explicit flavor to it, it probably would not have stood out as much as it did in the crowd
Yeah.
of anime at the time.
I mean, okay, so like we said, we're 30, mid 30 guys here. Like we're seeing like
Mhm.
15-year-old girls that clothes explode. We're not seeing nipples, but we are seeing it's pretty explicit. Like they'll like zoom
Yes.
in on the girl's face, and she'll like orgasm and make orgasm sounds and things like that. It's a little, so to me it feels a little creepy at times. I'm sure that's by design a little bit.
It's definitely a little
Yeah.
voyeuristic. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing, I can pretty much like compartmentalize this show into like, okay, that's just the silly off tangents, and then I'm enjoying the actual drama of this kid trying his best and becoming the best chef ever. That's
Mhm.
that's pretty much what the story ends up being. So
Yep.
I got past, I got up to like I think episode 16. I'm gonna finish at least this season. I didn't quite finish it. There's like 4 more episodes left, but there's
Okay.
that whole thing with Megami where she basically gets voted off during their like whole thing at the big like
Yeah.
hotel. And then I was like literally really emotionally invested when he's like, "You're out," and he's like, "No, that's unfair," because he puts like the fake like the cauliflower in there. That's like some of it's wilted on purpose because you have to be like the best chef. You have to make the best decisions. He's like, yeah. So you got to be quick. You got to be the first one to grab the cauliflower, or else you're screwed. But she figured out a way to make it taste similar with the malt vinegar, and try to work around that. And then of course, Soma's like, dude, she did awesome. Like what are you
Yeah.
saying? This food tastes amazing. It's pretty much the same exact dish. It's just a little different because you didn't give her good ingredients. That's on you. So he challenges the freaking actual like head chef dude, like the actual like guy running the class, to a food war,
Uh-huh.
which I thought that was pretty cool. At that moment I was like, "Oh shit, this is getting pretty hype." So I really did get into the characters. I liked that the food is based in reality. There's like a lot of things
Yeah.
I'm actually learning about cooking watching this, surprisingly, little tidbits and things, which is
Oh yeah.
nice. Yeah.
They get really deep into like the way that food chemistry actually ends up working,
Yeah.
and the way that like when certain flavors combine, it will make like actual molecular changes to what you're cooking,
Mhm.
which makes it taste completely different. Like, and all of that is true. There's a cookbook for this show,
I
by the
believe it.
way.
What's the chick's name? The God Tongue. What's her name? The bad
uh
girl. Can't think of her name.
that is Erina Nakari.
Arena. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's like by the book. She can never fail. She's perfect. So whenever
Yep.
Soma fails a couple times in this show, and he goes, "Yeah, well, that's part of being a cook is learning from your mistakes." She's like, "No, there are no mistakes. Like, period." So she just has a different mentality on it. Obviously, that's I'm sure later on in the story that kind of pays off where she realizes, oh crap, I can fail and still learn from my failures. I'm sure that's something that's coming later on in the story, which I see in the notes that you did watch the later seasons, so you probably know. But yeah.
Oh, this is not my first time watching this.
Oh, you watched it before?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like maybe my third time watching through Food Wars. Either second or third. I think it's like my second time watching all the way through it because I'm close to the end of season 3 right now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep watching it until like season 5 gets kind of shit. And that's where the story ends. So maybe won't watch season 5, but I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of season 3 and maybe get into season 4 again also.
Yeah, you were saying
But
last time that it was like the show's really good and then it just the end doesn't stick the landing like the last season.
yep.
Um So right now, uh, great recommendation. I think you actually nailed it. Surprisingly, like I was like thinking I was gonna hate. I watched like 2 episodes of this, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna agonize over watching this? But now I'm at the point where I'm like, I have like 20-30 minutes. I'll throw an episode on. Like I'm at that point with this anime, which is pretty much where you wanted me to be. I'm sure at this point. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that's exactly where I wanted you to be. I wasn't sure. What I said last time was I wanted to throw you into the depths of like the weird anime.
yeah.
And this is not like the deepest we can go, but this is like far from the normie shit that you had watched in the past,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
And I do see
And
the shonen vibes. Like I love all the Dragon Ball series. Like
Mhm.
like I feel that. I watched One Piece as a kid. I've obviously never kept up with it because it's a million
Right.
episodes, but it's the same thing where you get a cast of characters where you start learning each character and you start
Mhm.
rooting for everybody individually because they have their own strengths and weaknesses. And then of course you got the main like heart of the show, which is Soma, and
Yep.
you go from there. And then he has his catchphrases too. He goes, "Give me a minute," and then also when he finishes his recipe, he says "Thank you" or "You're welcome." Either one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So at so what you were just talking about is they have to go through like this whole like very grueling like
Mm-hmm.
training course where all of the students within this school are thrown into this big training course where like they have to complete all these tasks back to back to back, and um that's part of like the like weeding out of the chaff. So
Yeah.
it's the school's way of like being like, you're all here to be the best chefs that you possibly want to be. We're going to get rid of half of you because you're not good enough to make it in the culinary world, and the craziness that is the world of cooking, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's this big long training arc where they have to go through all these classes and everything, and then at the end of that, what you get into is you get to um at the end of the first season and the entirety of the second season. The second season is so fucking hype. It might be the best season. It's only 12 episodes, but what it gets into is this big competition where all of the best chefs, all of the best first year chefs have to go head to head against each other,
Damn.
and
I'm watching
each
this.
battle against each other,
Yeah.
and to find out who is the best among all of the first years.
Damn. That sounds really good. It's like I think that Arena says that something like, "Oh, you're not going to be a part of like the seasonal champion or whatever it was." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, they're probably setting something up." So that's basically the next season, pretty much. It leads into that.
Yep.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, so the end of the first season leads into that big championship where it's like the all of the best. So it's like it's Soma and Megumi and Erina. At this point, you've met Erina's cousin, right?
I think so.
She's like, I don't remember her name.
Oh
She's
yeah,
she's got
she's
like
like,
white short
yeah,
hair, and
yeah,
and
and they
the
like
guy
say
that
her
always.
name. It's Aaron, I think. Right? Aaron. No, Ashley. It's Ashley. In the
Is it
dub.
Ashley?
Pretty sure in the dub it's Ashley. But anyway, I know who you're talking about. She showed up in a single episode so far for me. I did
Okay.
meet her. So
So she ends up becoming a pretty big character, um but they're essentially all fighting to be part of the 10, which is
yeah,
the like essentially the student board council, the 10
yeah,
most powerful, the best students
yeah. And then they
within the entire school.
got Ishiki with who never wears clothes for some reason. He's
Yep.
just always has he's naked with the apron on like 90% of the time, or just
Yep.
completely naked. Because just why
Yep.
not? Yeah,
Yeah, he's allowed.
yeah. I do think that there's parts of this show where I'm like kind of like this is a little woke in some respects because they're like people are just naked and like not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I know there's kind of questionable things like oh these are underage characters etc. What, but like after that big so they have like a late night competition thing and Soma's like one of the first ones done. He like meets up with like this super buff like main chef guy and he's like the first
Mhm.
guy there and he's naked and they're just talking like they're just dudes talking.
Yep.
It's not that big of a deal that they're butt naked.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a big deal at all. I will say that part of that maybe has to do with cultural differences between,
yeah,
the United States and Japan. You know, in Japan, it's common to go to hot springs with your friends and just like get naked and get in a hot spring along
yeah,
with all of your buddies.
yeah.
Like that's a very common thing. So it's there's a little bit of a cultural difference there. You
Yeah,
know,
so as an American guy, I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I can see where that shouldn't be
or a
weird. Like,
bathhouse, like
yeah,
yeah,
like
public
bathhouse
bathhouses
isn't
also.
that shit shouldn't be weird. The
Yeah.
reason it's weird is because that's how we were grown. That's how American people are grown up and taught. It's like being naked and around somebody like a group of people is weird. Like it shouldn't be that way. Though how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's good. I really enjoyed the story. I think that the animation's really well done. I think the respect for food is based in reality. It's not some fantastical thing.
mhm,
Every time something new happens, where it's like, well, something. So that one of the first examples was like, there's a couple dudes trying to like screw up Soma's dish, which is like a thing that has to simmer for 30 minutes, to
mhm.
actually work, and they put a bunch of salt in it and ruin it. So he has to start over, but he ends up doing it faster than anybody else because he's like, "Oh, when I was a kid, I put honey on my meat, and it made it cook down faster and become tender faster. And
Mhm.
he did that, and the people judging that dish loved it and thought it was so creative and the best dish there. So just
Mhm.
stuff like that, you start to just really root for this guy who just has a bunch of knowledge because he's failed a million times and he's tried all these things out and he has all this knowledge and he's just gifted in the first place. And
Well,
it's
he's
just
also been doing it for
it's
his
his whole life.
entire life.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
he's been doing it 12 years and he's like 15. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So he's been doing it since he was a baby, and he's a prodigy because of it. And his dad's an amazing chef, and it's just really entertaining. Like I think that the interplay between the characters is really good. I think the fights are really well done. Surprisingly, they're just cooking battles, but they're just like so like dramatic and well composed and well thought out.
Mhm.
And there's twists and turns that you're not expecting coming, and you just want to see what happens next.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. There's some larger story beats that I don't think I want to spoil for you at this point that happened in season 3.
Right.
And since you seem like you're going to continue on and continue watching this into past the second season, I'll let you get to those in your own time instead of talking about them here right now.
Yeah, I think that it's not. I think the rest is not on Hulu, so I'll have to switch apps. But yeah, I do definitely want to
Yep.
continue on. I think it was a great suggestion though. One I would have probably never tried, and I think this is one that if I didn't have the incentive to watch the 12 episodes, I would have been like, I'm good after like one or two because of how like just over the top
Risque
sex,
it is.
yeah, over
Yeah.
the top like sexual stuff is. But honestly, it's ends up being just part of like the tone of the show in a weird way. It kind of works for this show.
Yeah.
I can't
It really
explain it.
does.
It just works, just part of it.
So, I was hoping I would have them here by the time we recorded this episode, but I did order a figure of both Soma and Erina to add
Nice.
to my anime shelf behind me here. Um, but they have not arrived from Japan yet, so is what it is. It happens. International shipping is always a son of a bitch, and now with tariffs and everything, it's even worse.
Yeah, and I know that Erina, I'm gonna end up liking her more. I feel like right now she's definitely the villain, and like you're
Yep.
supposed to not like her. But I know for a fact that either I don't know if she's gonna be love interest or if she's best friend or just part of the group or like a friendly rivalry. Yeah, I don't know what the personality or like what her play's gonna be, but I could tell that she's not just gonna be one note like bad guy the whole for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, her character growth is fantastic.
All right, I'm actually looking forward to watching more. Like surprisingly, so let's just say okay, so I was like so this is like a few weeks ago, and I was like 3 episodes in, and I was like, do I have to continue to watch this? Like, fuck, what did he give me to watch? And then like one day I just sat down and I ended up watching like 5 episodes back to back. Like I was just like I just started binging it. I'm like, damn, this
Uh-huh.
this is getting me in. It just grabbed me by the hooks. Hooked
Yeah,
me in.
once the drama starts, it really does drag you in.
Yeah,
Um, I guess my only other question is, did you watch this with your partner at all, or have you just been watching this by yourself?
I watched it by myself. They watched the first episode and had that same thing. I was like, I don't get this. So
Uh-huh.
I feel like if they could get past that, like I did, that they would really enjoy it too. Because we like stuff. We honestly we both like similar stuff for the most part. So I can tell they would enjoy this one, but I think it would be a big ask to be like, hey, sit down and watch this with me. And that's okay to have
Right.
stuff for yourself. We all have the things to
Absolutely.
watch for ourselves. So.
Yeah. Um, when you go on to the second season, I had sent you a private message a while back, like a little after we recorded our last episode, where I was like, apparently the second season isn't available on any American streaming service, at least none of the major ones. So I found a website where I could watch it. Um,
Allegedly.
I can allegedly watch it. So I'll
Make
give
sure.
you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The way you built up season 2, I would definitely want to see the big. the big challenge,
It's
big
good.
fight. It sounds
It's so
good.
good.
Yeah, I was watching it. So today I was like watching it. I was like, so my idea was like, I'm gonna sit here and watch as many episodes as I can today before, just so I could be like, yeah, I got through the whole season. I didn't quite make it, but you know,
You made it farther. I didn't even know if you were going to get through the 12.
no,
But I
I
knew.
was like, I was enjoying it. Like once you get past the certain point, when they got to that hotel, like that whole arc, I was like locked
Mhm.
in that whole entire time. Like I started feeling emotional when he like stood up for
Megumi.
Megumi, yeah. When he stood up for her and like I was like, oh damn, I'm feeling that. I could feel it in the pit of my stomach. Like, damn, that's so good. Like it got me a little bit of
Mhm.
emotion. Yeah, it's well done. It's really good. It's a really great anime. I mean, you have impeccable taste, right? Everybody
I
knows.
guess.
All right. Well, any other things you wanted to ask me about this before we move on to your or my recommendation to
No,
you?
no, I don't think so. Your recommendation to me was K-pop Demon Hunters,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Okay.
I didn't love it, but I
Fair.
liked it. Um, so this is it's at the end of the day, it's essentially a story about like accepting people for who they are
Yeah.
rather than like what's on the surface. Uh, so like that's you know that's a solid story for a children's movie, but so the basic premise is like there's this long history of like these groups of three female singers who have held the like barrier to the demon world at bay through the power of song, and this has been going on for like generations at this point. And the story takes place in like the modern times, I guess, like fairly, yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
modern times, where this group of K-pop stars are like trying to essentially complete this ritual and uh you know make the barrier as strong as they can while they are the ones that are protecting the world from these demons. And uh the main girl, you find out, I don't remember her name. Um but you find
I'll look it up.
do you have her? Huh?
I don't remember. Gonna be. I don't remember
Okay.
any names ever, so I'll just look it up. Go ahead.
You find out that like she is actually like a half demon. So she has these, they call them patterns, essentially marks on their body that symbolize that they've been like marked by the demons. And she's
Rumi.
trying, Rumi, there you go. She's trying to complete the ritual to make sure that to like get the marks off of herself. And there's one demon in hell, I guess, who's like, well, I know a way to let us actually free back into the human world, and it's by us making a K-pop boy band.
Yep.
And so it ends up being like this battle of music between the K-pop girls and the K-pop boy band, which there's actually some, I think, some interesting historical context here in that like pop music in and idol music kind of in general in Asia has been primarily dominated by women for like the last 100 years,
Yep.
and it's only been like the last 10-15 years where these like boy bands, not just K-pop boy bands but like J-pop boy bands, have started to really grow in popularity and be like this massive worldwide sensation. So I think that's actually kind of interesting, just from like a larger cultural context.
I didn't even consider that. That's pretty interesting. That's like I guess that would make a lot of sense from the story. That actually adds to the story quite a bit too. Thinking of it
Hmm.
with in that respect, because like they're the Huntrix, they're or is that's the name of them, right? Hendrix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Huntrix. Yep.
yeah. The Huntrix is like this big, huge pop star group, and then this boy band group that came out of nowhere, and of course they're the demons, and then you know
Hmm.
fights ensue. Um, My question for you for this movie, I know the story is really cool. What do you think about the animation? Are you a fan of this art, like where they do the half uh animating halves or on a frame here and there, and then they occasionally do the big, huge, exaggerated anime faces and things like that. Do you like that art style? I know it's kind of
Yes.
divisive. You do, okay.
I actually really like the animation. Um, I like we'll get into Mitchell's versus the Machines in a
Oh,
minute, but
okay,
I like the animation in that movie way more than K-pop Demon Hunters, honestly.
cool. I wasn't sure if you're
Um,
gonna have time to watch both.
I wasn't able to watch all of it. I got through most of it,
Okay, okay.
but I did I did watch most of it. We'll get to it in a second. Um, but yeah, the animation is really cool in this movie specifically. I want to talk about it because they do that thing where it's like it's it's a very modern style, and it's 3D animation taking a lot of 2D animation techniques and applying them to 3D models,
Yeah,
which you just didn't see for a long time. For like probably the first 20 years, what 25 years of 3D animation. You know, because like some of the first real 3D animations would have been like early Pixar movies with like Toy Story. That would have
yeah.
been like the first big one, right?
Where you're
Like
looking at
94.
Andy and Andy's mom, and you're like, what? That doesn't even look like people. Like, what the hell? You
Mhm.
know, back in the day, like, because the only thing well was toys, so
Yep.
because it looked plasticky. But nowadays they take the Looney Tunes, like anime, like a little bit of everything, and kind of mix it in with this like modern CGI
Yeah.
format. It just looks really cool.
So the animation style, it's it's obviously 3D models and 3D animated, but they're using like the very hyper expressive techniques of like, you know, old Looney Tunes cartoons where like people's characters' eyes get really big and people's mouths get really big and like their faces stretch and contort into weird shapes and are very, very expressive. And you didn't see that in any 3D animation at all for a long time. And
Yeah,
so it's cool to finally see a studio that's like, well, no, we can use these old techniques and just modernize them and put them into a new context and you know, fit them into 3D animation. So I think that's really cool. Um, all of the fight scenes were, I mean, they were fine for what they were.
hmm
Um, this is obviously a kids movie, so it's not like the action scenes in some of the kind of stuff that I like to watch. Some of the more heavily action oriented animation, you know. Um, so nothing, there wasn't anything too crazy on that front, but I thought the story was good. Um, you know, it's really just about like her trying to accept who she is and like make have her friends accept her for who she is and
yeah. When it comes down to it, it's a pretty simple story.
Mhm.
The thing that the reason I suggested this movie and was, oh, you should watch this, is one, I just thought the animation and it just looks beautiful, and it's cool to
Mhm.
see a modern movie look as good as it does.
Yes.
Two, I think the music is really well done. I like the music, but I have heard people that say they don't like the tracks in the music in this movie. But I find them pretty catchy and pretty good to listen to.
It's I mean it's good pop music.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not it's not bad. Like I can't say anything bad about it. It's maybe not exactly the kind of pop music that I normally listen to. Like I definitely like some pop music, but um
yeah. You're not gonna turn this on and like jam out in the car to this, but it was
yeah.
good in the context of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it was good in the context of the movie, but yeah, I wouldn't like this wouldn't be the kind of thing that I would go to on a daily basis. I wouldn't go to like a sing along screening of this or anything like that.
we almost did, to be honest. We didn't decided not
Yeah.
to, but we almost did. I think this one was a hit in our house, so that was one of them. So was this a good recommendation all in all, though? Even though it is like a kind of a kids movie, like pretty simple movie.
Yeah, I mean like I don't mind a kids movie, you know.
Yeah,
Toy Story is great, Monsters Inc is great. Like there's wonderful kids movies. I mean, like a lot of the classic Disney animations are just fucking superb. Studio Ghibli is like a
Yeah.
lot of their movies are kids movies, so like I don't have a problem with children's movies,
Hmm.
or kids movies or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like this was a good recommendation. I like the movie overall. Um, I like Mitchell's versus the Machines a lot more though.
Hey, how
I
far did you get in the movie? Do you remember?
so I have like 30 minutes left. Like
Okay.
they so
Maybe I should have flipped
that
these, honestly. Maybe this should have been the main recommendation. The K-pop as the side stretch
maybe
goal. Yeah.
um
Because Mitchell's Merch Machines has more of that nostalgic like vibe to it. Has like there's a scene
oh,
with
it's
like
very nostalgic.
has like the scenes with a
Yeah.
giant. I don't know if you got to it. There's a scene with a giant Furby, stuff like
Yep,
that.
yep, yep, yep.
Like there's like a little like winks and nods to like 90s and 80s nostalgic throughout the whole thing. And then like you got the whole family energy with the dad that's kind of bumbling, and then of course the main chick who's quirky and artistic, and it's just a lot of
Hmm.
fun. That's a fun movie too.
Yeah, and she's like, well, nobody understands me. It's another story of like acceptance and like people not understanding who you actually are on the inside, and that's kind of the main themes of the movie. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like there's a lot of like modern pop culture references in it that I don't think will hold up like 10 years down the line for anybody except for our generation. A lot of
Yeah.
like meme culture that's pushed in there, but I think it works for the context of the movie because it's made for mid 2020s audience, or a 2020s audience, because that was like 2021 when that movie came out. um so I think it works in that context, and like she's trying to go to school or go off to college, and like it's going to be the best days of her lives, finally being away from her family and everything. And uh that kind of gets ruined by, well, it gets ruined at first because she was going to fly and her dad canceled her flight, and it's like, we're going to take a big road trip to get you to college, and she's like, I don't want to take a road trip with you guys. And then it ends up being a good thing because the machines end up taking over, and they're like the only ones who have the craziness to be able to survive in this world full of machines.
It's just like kind of like AI singularity vibes
Hmm.
with mixed with a little maybe alien like abduction energy too, because everybody's getting taken
Uh-huh.
and put in this big like server rack area, and they have to save them and
Yeah.
all this stuff. So
Little Matrix energy in there with the machines taking over and rounding up all the humans.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I have about a half hour left on this movie. I got to the point where like they were trying to break into like the main robot headquarters place, and they weren't able to they weren't able to get in. Like the machine started like showing video, and like showed video of like her talking about her dad behind his back, and like she's trying to be like, no, I didn't mean it that way, and he ends up like fucking up their disguises as they're trying to get in. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
uh
You're
and
getting
I
you're
just
getting
haven't.
close.
Yeah, I'm close to the end. I just didn't have enough time to finish watching it. So
Glad you like that one. I just thinking about it, like that made more sense to switch it up, but hey, it is what it is. I'm glad you watched
mhm.
them. You're gonna finish that up probably.
Oh yeah, I'll
Yeah.
finish that. That's a fun movie. That's one that I'll definitely go back to. Like that's one I'll buy and put on the shelf.
Yeah. That
So
has a I like how they do in that specific movie that they do there's a crazy animated scene, but then there's like the hand drawn like things over the like environments to make it seem like
mhm.
even more like animated and lively, and just gives it that energy, like how she draws all her things, own little world and stuff.
Yep.
I think it's really
Yeah, that one's it's a lot of fun, and the characters are so expressive. They're like their faces contort into all kinds of different shapes. It's great. I love it.
yeah. They might as well be Looney Tunes. Like they might
Oh
as well
yeah.
be Daffy Duck, right? At sometimes, yeah. It's really well done. I'm glad you enjoyed those movies though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this was successful recommendations.
Yeah, I think so. I plan to keep watching the show, which I thought I was gonna hate at first. That's always good. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good sign.
All
And
right.
now we move on to the second half of the main topic of the show. The part where we recommend what the other's going to watch.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Um, why don't you go ahead and go first because I'm getting a phone call and I need to be able to look at my phone, but I also don't want to hit the stop the phone from ringing button.
You're good. I am gonna pick a series. I don't know if you've seen or not, so I'm kind of worried if you've seen it or not. I haven't asked you, so we'll see. Have you seen the Terrifier trilogy?
I have not.
What my recommendation for you is Art the Clown,
Okay.
slasher craziness. So I'll set this one up. My partner and I watched Terrifier 2 first, and we were just like, we just heard that this is a crazy slasher movie. We need to go see it in theaters. It's so insane. So we
Mhm.
watched it. It's as gory as you're thinking it is. It's super gory. It's all about the gruesome, realistic looking effects with lots of blood and splatter, lots of gore, lots of insane kills, lots of insane slasher moments. So this is pretty much the opposite of K-pop demon. So
Right.
um, the first movie, we went back and watched it. It's a little more down to earth, a little more classic slasher feeling. It's a little lower budget. It feels like a B movie. So
Uh-huh.
know that going in. The first one is really a B movie, which has some good kills in it and it has the good action in it. It's a good solid horror movie. But then the sequel is like, no, we got some budget now. We're gonna take the shackles off and we're gonna go crazy on. So I'm recommending the first two at least, and then if you have time to watch the third one as well. But I think you might have to rent that one. So if you do decide to rent it, let me know, and I'll make sure to like Venmo you the rental amount or whatever. We'll figure that part out if you want to watch it. But at least the
Oh,
first two.
Josh, I'm gonna buy all three of these on DVD. Like these
Okay,
are
there you
movies I've
go.
been meaning to watch.
There you
So
go. I want
I'm
to
just
talk to
gonna
you about
order.
these. We
I'm
want to
just gonna
rewatch
order all
these.
three of these.
Okay, sounds good. We want to rewatch them anyway, so I figured, you know what? Let's give this a little homework for Chris. I know you're gonna really enjoy them. Like, dude,
Mhm.
if you like body horror and you like slasher movies, Art the
Oh yeah.
Clown is like maybe like top 5 slasher like bad guy ever made. Like, he is without remorse. He will just kill anybody. He doesn't matter. He just wants to feed and he's a demon. Like, that's the main whole premise. He's a
Mhm.
demon. He just wants to feed on souls. So he doesn't care who he kills. He has no remorse. He'll kill kids. He'll kill old ladies. He'll stab people in the throat 5,000 times if he wants to, and just smile the whole time. So
Perfect.
it's pretty much going to get you right into that super horror, and just the feeling of the horror. So we're getting closer to October. Might as well. So I figured
Oh, I
that's
love a good
perfect.
slasher.
Yeah, you'll love them. I think you're gonna really enjoy them. They I will say they try to get a little maybe a little too cute and a little too epic at times, but I love it. I think they're just having fun, and they have budget, and they have this crazy production. So for context with that, the first movie is like an hour and 30. It's like a good clean hour and 30. The second one's like
Mhm.
2 hours and 20. The third one's like 2 hours and something too. And they're just like, we have all these ideas. We're gonna throw them all into the movie. It's gonna be the craziest, bloodiest, like epic horror slasher. So I really enjoy them. I think that they're just dark and just fun in the dark way, that you want type of
Perfect.
movies to be. So, the third one is more of a Christmas movie. Say that much. Art the Clown wears a Santa Claus outfit. So
Love it.
yeah. So you're gonna enjoy it. I think you're gonna have a good time with that. That's your recommendation for this month.
Okay. My recommendation, I have I have one movie that I want you to 100% get to, and I have one movie that is bonus extra credit.
Okay.
The movie that I want you to get to, uh, so part of the thing, here's the thing, is that these are going to be maybe a little bit difficult to find on American streaming services. I will
Okay.
do my best. to try and help facilitate you being able to watch both of these movies. But the first one that I want you to watch is called A Tale of Two Sisters. This is a Korean horror drama from 2003. I love this movie so much. And then the second one is also a Korean movie, and it is called I Saw the Devil, and that is from 2010.
Okay, I haven't heard of these movies. So, both in that, what kind of horror? That like possession? What are we looking at?
Psychological dramas.
Okay,
Well, at least for the first one. I Saw the Devil is a little bit more strange.
okay. I said possession because I saw the devil sounds like a possessed being the devil.
Mhm.
Maybe they speak for themselves. There's nothing else quite like them. That sounds like
Yeah.
okay.
I think they are. I think it's hard to. So there's a thing about a lot of Korean movies where and I could be completely wrong about this, but there's my understanding is that they don't have like the massive Hollywood movie infrastructure like we have here in America. So over in South Korea, there will be like 10, 20 movies made every year. And so all of those movies will, or at least a lot of them, will kind of intermingle different genres altogether. So you might have a movie that's like a little funny at times, but also very dramatic with a little bit of horror, and then maybe a little bit of romance mixed in there also. And you don't see movies like this made in America. And
Okay.
that's Korean cinema is very fascinating and I love it a lot. And I've watched a lot of movies from Korea and I think both of these are they're like these two movies are like two poles within the kind of like stuff you'll get from Korean cinema.
Gotcha. It's
So,
kind of like two levels of it.
yeah.
Cool.
One might be a little bit more extreme than the other.
So am I looking at like tons of gore or like crazy
N
imagery or
you're no, you're not gonna get, like, a shitload of gore or anything from either of these. Just
just kind of fuck you up a little bit, like like a good way?
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wanna say too much.
Okay. You can leave it. You can leave it vague. That's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited to watch them. I feel like you like to throw me stuff that I probably would never. And I'm kind of like, here's a little bit more mainstream. Maybe next time I'll go a little more quirky, and a little out there too, just to kind of mix it up. But definitely looking forward
No,
to it.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I think I watch a lot of, like, this weird out there stuff,
yeah,
right? And I just kind of I'm like, "Ah, that's mainstream, like, I don't fucking care, like, man, get out of here, mainstream, like, I don't need you." And then I watch the mainstream stuff, and I'm like, "Mm, maybe it's actually kinda good," you know?
yeah,
But
yeah. I think I know like thing about the Terrifier thing is like it's easy for it to be like, oh, this is the face of Spirit Halloween. You know, it can become like kind of
Mhm.
corny in that respect. I would say try to like distance yourself from that like huge like zeitgeist and just watch
Well,
the movies. You know, that's how I feel on those.
look,
Yeah,
I love horror movies, and we're moving into the horror movie, like, season, so, like, that's why I'm recommending you the movies that I am. Those are also both kind of horror movies, but, like, when you get into, like, the Spirit Halloween stuff, like, Sam from
trick or treat.
Trick or Treat, like,
Yeah,
he's everywhere in that store, but that movie is
it's
fantastic.
like one of the best horror movies ever made. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Same with like Jason, Freddy. Like they have amazing
Yep.
movies. They're really well done. So that's probably an unfair criticism.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, Terrifier is just a modern icon in an era where
Yep.
icons were, are maybe less the popular in vogue thing to make a movie about, Like when was the last slasher icon that you remember? Like maybe Saw that
Yeah,
actually had like sequels,
just
you
Jigsaw.
know?
Like that's probably the last one.
And that was mid 2000s,
Yeah. So the thing, I mean, maybe Annabelle a little bit. Maybe not.
No, she
No,
had like one
one
movie
movie. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, so this,
and like some spin-offs, but
but when you
one
watch,
movie.
yeah, I was gonna say when you watch these movies, like you're gonna see like, okay, they're so inspired by like 7 or 8 or 10 80s and 90s and thousands. Like the inspirations are very they don't care that it's obvious that this is being inspired by a million different things, but
Perfect.
they
I'll
throw it
I'll
all in
spot
there
the
and
references.
yeah, they throw it all in there and dude, it's just the main character. You're just like you're gonna root for her. Like it's really good times. Like the final girl and everything. She's so good and like yeah, it's worth watching. Like I was to me, I'm like slasher movies. I like them. I usually like okay. I know the classics. I enjoy them. This one for some reason stuck with me. I was like, damn, this one just really grabbed me. So that's why I was like, got to make.
Okay.
But I'm excited to watch your
Perfect. It
movies too. Yeah, there's
gives
a
me an
little.
excuse to finally watch them. So
Yeah, and then yours are like these are kind of mysterious to me. So I'm interested to kind of go in a little blind and just see.
watch A Tale of Two Sisters with your partner. I want to see what their reaction is.
Okay, they probably
Uh,
like it.
I
They like crazy horror. They're the ones that actually
Yeah,
gets me into horror more than like I like horror, but I wouldn't watch as much horror if I wasn't with.
perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
I think that's gonna do it for our show today, right? Got our
I think so.
recommendations out. We got all the stuff. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on the Trash Station podcast where I talk at length about weird video games that you've never heard of, and sometimes video games you have heard of. And you can also find me on twitch.tv/Scotch and Hobbies, where I stream video games that you haven't heard of, or sometimes video games you have heard of.
Perfect. You can find me on Bluesky, Josh Leslie, and on the Indie podcast, which is our week show where we talk about indie games. Sometimes we listen to indie game music. Sometimes we deep dive into one game, or usually we'll bring a game nation called The Quest. Check that out.
Next episode's about Pyre, right?
Pyre, yeah, that'll be out by the time it's out. No, wait,
No, it
no,
won't.
no, it won't. It'll be out a little after this.
Yeah, I need to play Pyre. I've had that downloaded on my PS4 for like a year and a half. So I guess I'll finally try and get to it. Although the fucking Cobra game just came out. I need to play Space Adventure Cobra also.
That's how
Jesus
I
Christ.
am. Like it's like work. If work's not taking up my time, I'm like I have like 7 different games I want to play and like 5 different movies I want to watch. And like what do I do next?
Yeah.
Decision paralysis.
I never know what to do next. Really quick, I just want to say that the next episode of the Trash Station is officially 1 year of me recording Trash Station with Max. So we're doing a
Awesome.
live show. We're gonna be doing it live on both YouTube and Twitch, multi-streaming the podcast. So uh this will come out after that episode, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it here, I think. Let me double check a calendar. This will come out. No, this will come out before
A little bit
that
before
next
a
episode. Yeah.
couple days or maybe that
Yeah, by a
day.
couple of days. Actually, the day this releases will be the day that we are recording that episode.
So if you happen
So
to
if
catch this day of release, there you go.
and listen all the way to this point,
Yeah.
you can see me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Scotch and Hobbies or youtube.com/Trash Station Podcast. That might be it. I don't know.
I think that's right.
Find the Trash Station and then find like the little 2 raccoon logo. We'll put a link in the thing. It'll be around in the things. Like look down below for the links and the things.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep. See you on the next one.